I'm watching him, and I mean, for like 3 years ago, I watched the game. We were like, they're 20-0, and I'm like, and then we go, here are reporters, and moving from the stand, like, oh my God. Like, all right.
For showing up and getting out there, you know?
Exactly.
Not that the other teams trying to run out. You gotta move the ball back.
And Menard, the coach Menard is really good about when he sees that they're blowing out the other team. He's like, when you look at the players, don't say, you know, and it was, all right.
I am a happy man. I am. We got the shoes. We did get grants, but actually, and then, we got another patient this week. And then I'll do more during the thing, but then we also got a letter. With the schedule of distribution. So she said, are you grant money or for taxes? Yeah, grant money, that schedule is really, taxes would come from the state, I mean, grants come from the state, so.
So are they full?
You go ahead and
As long as they can't, about like the purposes of getting interest on that one.
Thank you, guys.
But you know, like, when you're totally left so many communities hanging in need of this.
Right,
Like, almost like it's gonna take.
They're not guaranteed.
Right.
So I have to.
I don't have one here. I don't want mine to
Oh, yeah, maybe some over more people.
Maybe like Dennis.
How we doing?
That sounds sincere. Did
Very.
that sound sincere?
You're getting really good at it.
40 years in business. Are you ready, Adam?
Yes.
It's in the,
Am I
plan, but I just don't know what you. I'll let you know.
Yeah, it's not gonna make sure. Yeah, we definitely are. Yeah, she already has a.
There's the phone card.
Actually,
Yeah, actually, they're there. Is it?
It's very different. So they do, what, wait,
Are you chair, so it's okay.
okay.
You think I can drive?
No, not all the tapes are in there.
I'm sorry, go on.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the board meeting for January 15th, 2026. It is 6 p.m. Let's call the order. Roll call.
Alsamora. Lyons. Here. McDermott. Here. D'Antoni.
Here.
Gillian.
I'm here. Pledge of allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I need the approval of the agenda. Motion.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll.
Alsamora. Lyons. McDermott. D'Antoni.
Aye.
Gillian.
I need a motion that the board review and approve minutes of the December 19th, 2025 regular board meeting. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion?
Do we have minutes?
I'll say that.
Here, that's next, right? That was regular?
Yeah, that's regular.
This is the regular.
Oh, regular, I'm sorry.
So hearing no discussion, call the roll, please.
Altamora. Aye. Lyons. Aye. McDermott.
Aye.
Sansoni.
Aye.
Gillian.
I need a motion for approval of the closed session minutes for the December 19th, 2025 meeting.
Motion.
It's been moved and seconded. We'll wait just a second for any discussion. Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Altamora. Aye. Lyons. Aye. McDermott.
Aye.
Sansoni.
Aye.
Gillian.
Any correspondence?
We did receive a correspondence from, Justin Birchtold. He is the band director for, Proviso Math and Science, District 209. Just thanking the Park District for, hosting their, performance, their end of the year holiday performance where they raise money for Toys for Tots, and he appreciated use of the facility. They had a great experience. And then that, make sure. And then, boy, I have some. This is for IPRA board meeting at the conference.
Okay,
I got
thank
that.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay, any public comment?
I have a public comment. Do I need to stand up or come to the front?
Come up a little bit more to the front, just so I'm sure we can all hear.
Perfect, thank you. I've never done this, so my name is Amanda, I live on Circle, my address is written down. I'm speaking to the board and the community members here present tonight as a mother, a park owner, and a taxpayer. I have many fond memories made here at the park growing up, and when I became a mom, I wanted to make sure that my kids could also make some really great memories too. The Park District has some really great things to offer, and I'll be the first to admit that there was a time in my younger adult life where I paid very little attention to the park while I was focusing on other things. But I have to say, I'm kind of focused in now. This all started last year when I attended the park meeting after the midday fireworks display that kind of scared the crap out of me and my 2-year-old at the time. And so I came to the next meeting because I was curious as to what happened, and I just wanted to see how it was addressed at the board meeting. I remember coming to the board meeting and there were only a couple people, less than here now, and it was a rather quick meeting. But I do remember that the board voted for a like $30,000 to $40,000 survey of the softball field. It was in order to move forward with, like, it was a topographical mapping in order to move forward with the repairs because the board was concerned about the softball players spraining an ankle. To me, that's a lot of money, but I guess I get it. I don't want somebody hurt, and as a taxpayer, I definitely don't want the park to be on the hook for like a potential lawsuit that could cost us millions of dollars. So anyway, fast forward to about 5 months ago, while I was at my kids' soccer practice, when I kind of started to hear concerns about like the soccer field quality, the safety, and then also the broken scoreboard that the junior high kids kind of mentioned. I didn't really think much of it. I've never played soccer. I have no experience to draw from. I'm not really sure what a good soccer field looks like or doesn't look like. But I was listening and I was kind of just like watching the game. Anyway, long story short, one day the bleachers went missing, and then that kind of got my attention because then I was like, why do we have mini baby bleachers? Like, why did our bleachers get taken? I do like to talk a lot, so then I was just chatting with people, and that's when I kind of started to understand people's concerns. So like any person today, I just started Googling soccer field quality, safety concerns, and that left me kind of down like a wormhole of like PFAs, chemicals, lead, all the different stuff, like Aaron Brockovich type stuff that is on the internet. But there's also some really credible nonprofits that have been testing turfs. So it did raise my concerns, and this was a huge deal for me because I have pictures of like my babies, like in the turf field, collecting candy for the Easter egg hunts. Every time we do soccer, we always have like little fibers and pellets scattered around, like our stairs and the back porch where we take all of our stuff out. They're in our wagon, they're in our car, they're everywhere. So that does concern me, and that just kind of made it so I kind of wanted to like kind of dive in and just see what was being brought up to the board. That brings me to last month when I went to the meeting and I heard some stuff that really just piqued my interest, and I just wanted to follow up in the saving time instead of rambling on. I just made some bullet points. I was concerned how the park was able to unanimously vote that $30,000 to $40,000 survey for the softball field, but there's some pushback on the $1,500 safety assessment that would be conducted to actually test the quality of the field. To me, that was a huge issue because we were concerned about the adults spraining ankles, but we're not concerned about the kids, like my kids, their friends, the local school kids, and then the rec leagues that pay for a nice field. And also, going back to the lawsuit, what happens if somebody does get hurt, their lawyer orders a test, and it turns out that it wasn't safe? That just makes me a little concerned. I am going to say that I'm really happy to hear that we got the grant approval last night, but I do think that the safety test should still be done. I want to believe that everything is safe here. It's just I do like that reassurance. Like, I'm a mom, I have a special needs kid. Some things just really concern the crap out of me, pardon my language, but like in order to sleep and make sure that my kids aren't going to get hurt, I really need that. Okay, so then the bleachers. That kind of caught me off guard, and I just thought it was kind of like a little jab after everybody was bringing stuff up about the soccer field. Then I learned that the pad that the bleachers are sitting on costs $26,000. And I was just oh, that's a lot of money to add for seats when the tournament is only one weekend. And I guess the $26,555 is from like a December 2024 meeting, or that's when the spending was for. But once again, it seems like a really high expense for something that maybe doesn't bring value, like the return on investment. How often are those bleachers in that pad used? Also, I thought this was kind of interesting. I think this could benefit the entire community. As a taxpayer, I'm interested in learning how our money is spent around the park. And I think that we would love to see what gets used most at the park, what maintenance schedules look like, cost of division and labor. I think it would be really cool to see what goes into grooming the soccer fields, what goes into grooming the softball fields. What is it that we could do to make our park be a direct, great reflection of our community? Okay, I can speed up.
It's 3 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah.
the Pines, that cost a lot of money, 1.75 plus $400,000, that's a lot of money. And I was a little concerned that we didn't have a good plan for it. The park construction, I think it would be great if we could get more community input. And I'm not saying that you guys haven't gotten community input. But I feel like it would just be in the best interest if people are saying, hey, we didn't get enough in order to just not look like bad guys. I would be like, hey, we're gonna ask everybody so that nobody can even say that we didn't try. That's just my take on it, killing with kindness, right? We're gonna send everything. And instead of doing a survey, I think we could actually get some volunteers to help with that. Sorry, okay. I don't know, the basketball court, I don't play basketball. I don't plan on starting to play basketball, but I do that something. To me, I equate it to a present, right? I want a Cabbage Patch doll. Hey, you're gonna get a Rubik's Cube because we didn't have enough money. That's kind of how I see it. We want a basketball court, but we don't have enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop you. It's
Yeah,
not
okay.
for everybody else who wants to talk.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah. Do you want me to save my minutes for the next meeting or
I
at the end of the
can-
public
You
comment?
can,
I can take them.
yeah.
Sure, I can email you guys too.
Just email. That's
Okay,
perfect.
perfect.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Hearing none, oops, go ahead.
Mike Hill from Forest Park Youth Soccer. I kind of wanted to just comment on congratulations on the grant. We're real excited. As you know, it's been something that we've been talking about for a while. Getting not only the whole park redone, but also the fact that the soccer field will be replaced. One of the things that I was mainly concerned about with the soccer field, and I talked about it many times, was the number of pellets that are there, the number of pellets that are visible, the number of pellets that always end up in different places besides on the field, kind of like what Amanda was saying. And it's the safety of the exposure to the pellets that we're most worried about. And with younger kids, with adults, it's different. It's a different concern versus kids that don't know exactly when things that come off the ground are bad and when they should not be playing with them or things like that. It's not a toy, it's part of the field. So that was my concern. That was my main concern for the last couple seasons is the amount of pellets that are on the field and how the field is not, and it causes the stripes to come up and it causes tripping hazards in the field because the stripes are coming up. Recently, I started learning more about the impact test and how that has also effect on the safety of the field. So I'm starting to learn more about that, and I'm starting to get concerned about that issue, and if there needs to be that type of test done soon rather than later as we go into our spring season. That's just a concern I have. I think it's something that I would respectfully request you guys to look into and think about more seriously. That I think to have the whole community's confidence in using the field, I think this would go a long way with that. We know that the cats on excessive field, they feel it's safe, but that's just one more thing that goes along. That is a big thing for the physical being of the people that play on the field. Is that test is an important test for turf fields and a good judgment on how well the turf field is, even if it's for a short time or a long time. It's a test that should be done annually. I don't know if and when we had one done, but it's something that we need to consider and keep on in front of our topics.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else?
Yeah, I just have a brief comment that you know that I called for a safety test and emailed all of you commissioners at the last board meeting. So I'm just really here to learn what your response is, because I haven't received one, about the GMAX impact testing that Mike referenced to. Thanks.
Okay, seems like we're done there. Treasurer's report.
Hello, everybody. Happy New Year to everyone. I have 2 accounts payable checks. The first one was run 12/31/25 in the amount of $72,927.93. The second one was ran 1/9/2026 in the amount of $77,325.69. The total of the 2 checks is $150,253.62.
I need a motion from the board that we approve disbursements for December 2025 and January 2026, totaling $150,253.62. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Alzamora. Aye. Lyons. Aye. McDermott.
Aye.
Sansoni.
Aye.
Gillian.
Tell me about the December disbursements, or financial statements.
Financial statements.
So I'll just do that. All right, so I'm just looking for a motion that the board accept the financial statements for the close of December 2025.
So moved. I'll second.
Motion with a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll.
Alzamora. Aye. Lyons. Aye. McDermott.
Aye.
Sansoni.
Aye.
Gillian.
Aye. Any other matters for discussion? Okay, going to clerk report.
All right, hello. Some good news, we did find the leak in the pool. It's a hell of a process, but
Found the needle in the haystack.
Yes.
basically. 100%, that's exactly the best way to do it.
so we found it, we got to fix it and seal it up and then paint on over it. We did receive 2 bids that we approved later, one for painting the pool, the other one for replacing the sand and the sand filters, but we'll talk about that later. We had some remediation done on H&R, so we're in that building all ready to go. We're looking at getting some shade sales over on the west end by the pickleball courts and getting our carts and lawnmowers all parked up in the summer, so.
And did we ever figure out with the leak, where the water was going to?
Unfortunately, yeah, it's going right to the, rock was underneath the, so like it was basically at a T up for where the, inlets are. And so one of them was not connected to the main water source. So it was just feeding right out of that into the gravel underneath the pool.
And we're confident that there's no structural issue
Yeah.
as a result?
When he arrived, when he, the contractor from Stuckey, I was very frank with him, like, where's this water going? And are you gonna dig it up and find a hole? And he said that in this scenario, there's 3 feet of gravel. And that gets absorbed into the gravel and sent out to the sewers, which makes sense because Andrew and his staff were checking that,
We were in the sewers testing
Yeah.
the water, and
Yes.
there was chlorine in the sewers.
so
So
that's, he said it's going out there.
I think it definitely wasn't beneficial to the pool, but there was nothing that we could tell as of now that's alarming or anything like that. We could definitely see like buckled concrete, but I don't know, we don't know if that's from the water or if that's just from it being old in the deck. But there's nothing in the structure of the pool that we noticed at all. Fingers crossed.
The good thing about it was when Andrew, Sam, and I stood out there and they showed us the break, it completely made sense.
Mhm.
And that is really hard to come by, where, especially when you're going through thousands of feet of PVC pipe, and they found it, and when we looked at it and put it all together, it made sense as to why everything was happening the way it was happening. So,
So it's basically trying to fill the front half of the pool, and it's constantly trying to catch up, and it couldn't.
It's kind of like my dishwasher last weekend. I had a big leak, so it's been fixed. But, so thank you. I think that is phenomenal. Did I understand you right, that it's already been remediated, or, because I think the last,
no,
you were waiting for good weather.
Yeah, so they came out, but we're waiting, and actually the guy that's fixing it is the one that we did our filter last winter. So he is very familiar with our pool, and that was just by chance, and the people that we hired to fix it, I contracted him, so he knows our pool, and I'm confident we'll get that fixed.
and then we have, the only part is that we do have to wait for is that we have to re-pour. Yeah, it's about 25 feet of, we tore up the pool. So it's about 2 feet, I'd say, wide, and then 25 feet long that they broke up. So, and then found it. Luckily, they only had to go 25 feet. But they'll do the concrete once the weather breaks.
Is there any, did they say, like, I mean, obviously, it's kind of reminds me when you have something older, you fix one pipe, and then down the road, you might have another pipe that goes bad. Is there anything that they do or kind of test, or I know we did those when they put like cameras down the pipes. Are we making sure we do something like that before we seal it all up and put the concrete down and make sure that we don't have those issues
So we
down the
do
road
have,
one way?
more construction, I know they talked about they could do that, but I mean, this part, it's right by where the SCS was removed, and you can tell that someone either drove a machine over this or stepped on it, because there's a clean crack right from the main supplier. So like, I'm pretty confident that nothing else is broken, unless they were just constantly walking on it. But this one, like, it is a clean, perfect crack right from the main supply line to the inlets.
And it's where the leak detection company found it. Like it was in that 8x4
We got
area.
that whole entire area that he suggested, and you found that one. So they're confident it's just this one, if we want to look, I'm sure we can, but
So no colonoscopy.
no, thank God.
So when you said SCS, that's the old little kitty splash
Yep.
pad that was in the, so when they took that out, they,
Possibly, we can only assume.
we could.
Yes,
okay.
exactly, we don't know, but it's
That's
pretty good.
very high probability that that's when
Yes.
that.
And based on the timeline, and may have, I don't even know, they may not even know they did it, because it could be a matter of dumping too much gravel too quickly on it, it snapped. There's many different, but it's in that same area, so. But it's a very inexpensive fix,
Yes.
thank God.
How long do we think it's been there?
I can go back to in 2022, so in Forest Park, you only get water bills every other month. But the pool's only open for 3 months, so it's a little complicated. Because in an aquatic facility, your second bill should be half of what your first bill was to say that, things are working properly. when we received our second bill for that summer, it was double. And that's when it triggered us to start working with the village to basically just track it. So we've been tracking it for a couple of years, just trying to, and again, I mean, there's thousands upon thousands of feet of piping that we found. It's again, a reason to celebrate.
What is the diameter of the pipe that was broken?
About 2 inches.
Or about, yeah, an inch and a half, 2
About
inches.
2 inch pipe, yeah.
And it was connected to a 4-inch pipe.
And so you can imagine
The amount of water that.
how much water was being forced.
And the 4-inch pipe is the feed pipe that
Yes.
pumps it to the pool. So it was pumping it into the ground.
4 inch box.
So the good thing is we found it. So.
Any other questions for Andrew?
Thank you.
Happy New Year, everybody. I just wanted to let you all know that the Wizard program guide is out and programs are filling really nicely. Volleyball, basketball, dance, the whole gamut of stuff that we normally do. We have a craft fair coming up on February 7th. We have 41 vendors already registered. And you see all the signs that maintenance put up for us, which is cool. So we're hoping to get a bunch of traction. We're really looking forward to starting that back up. We started summer planning. Ryan and I met today a little bit, and we're trying to spruce up summer camp. We're gonna do things like go to Legoland. We're gonna change our trips up a little bit, just to kind of make it more fun for the kids. We also met today about softball, 16-inch. Almost everybody's coming back. We had last year from their teams, we had one addition, but everybody else is gonna stay the same. So, and we're recruiting staff in Spicy and Summer Camp. And at this time, I just want to take the opportunity to show my appreciation for all the hard work that Ryan and Dominique do. Over the past few years, they've worked tirelessly to increase the quantity and quality of our programming. And without their effort and their hard work and commitment to making sure that we can kind of increase our programming, the quality of it, they've done. So I wanted to just take this opportunity to let you guys know how hard they do.
So, and I'm saying this, it doesn't go unnoticed. The Park District at Oak Park definitely we had some great conversations in the last couple of days with the Park District at Oak Park and what we're doing over here at Forest Park and how there's a lot of admiration. So it's good to be.
They're not planning to steal anyone.
Oh, I told Jan. Jan knows I will knock down that door.
We're going on record, we're gonna beat them up, right?
Yes, I will go on record for that, and Jan knows that I would, so. She does ask.
I'm sorry, can I interrupt? Who were you appreciating? I
Our rec supervisors, Ryan and Dominique.
Okay, perfect. I thought I heard it and
Yeah.
I just wanted to make a note. 'Cause
They're
I
kind
do think they should, and I was like, future comment, appreciate the team. So I just wanted to share it, great.
Thank you, Jeanette. Jeff?
Actually,
I don't want to talk to Jeff. I don't talk to
I just figured you were skipping me because you didn't want to talk to me. Well, Danette stole mine about the program guide being out, so I'll steal hers and just, you can't say enough about what Ryan and Dominique have done. When I started here, one of Jackie's big objectives was, let's get creative and find ways that we can fill programs and not have to cancel them. There's nothing worse than putting out an announcement that we have to cancel a program. That's really not even in our vernacular with those two. They do a really good job. They come to me with ideas constantly. They really breathe some life into everything, but you know, this right here is a testament to those three essentially. They do a lot of that heavy lifting and they've done a really good job. So just to kind of co-sign that as marketing, I do a lot with them, I do a lot for them, and they're really killing it. For myself, I'm sorry I missed you guys the day after website launch last month, but Tim, you did a great job explaining it. I appreciate it. It's been doing really well. We were lucky to average maybe 24 visitors a day on a busy time at the park. We're averaging well over 100 a day, and over 70% of that is coming directly from people going straight to pdofp.org. So they're not getting there in a roundabout way, they're just going there. And it's the first time that Facebook's not the clubhouse leader in how to get there, anything like that. So it's just been really cool to see that the numbers are consistent every day. People are using it to go there, get what they need, find it, and it's just been such a breath of fresh air. We've gotten a couple emails like, hey, been working with you for a long time and just checked out your website, like, the first time? But it's really nice because then they want to see more, they want to learn more, they want to know more. And that was the whole intention of it, was to just get everything out there, make it easy to consume, but make you want more from us, you know, keep coming to us. It's all there. We'll have it for you. So that's been really good. We are working on signage all across the park, so that's been going for a while. The Harrison Street sign is in production. Actually, he emailed me right before this, Andrew, your H&R sign, the sign that's gonna go, we're getting a temporary sign, just so people know that that garage is a Park District garage, not a maintenance garage to pull their car in the bay if the door's open and drop the keys off to mow, and then who knows what happens. So we're getting a temporary sign for up there. That's actually should be good to pick up on Monday, so breaking news. And then we're working on designing the corner sign at Des Plaines and Harrison right now, and then the entrance sign right here out front. So those will also be two newer signs that we should have the designs finalized shortly, but we were finally able to get a material, all that kind of stuff figured out. So now we just have to move forward and come up with our final plan. But within the next couple months, we should have a totally new kind of vibrancy to all the signs on the park. So that old brown sign at the corner that does not invite you in will be gone, and we'll have some colors that pop and really kind of, I think, speak to the vibrancy of all of us here at the park. So.
Quick question, you're talking about signs. I know a couple weeks ago I was going past Remembrance Park and that bar was missing.
Yeah.
So I know this is new this morning. You said it was replaced. Was that fixed? I didn't drink
No,
that.
so we're waiting because we have to use cement to put it in. So again, we're kind of waiting on, we have the R, we're just waiting on the weather.
Okay, so it's not, doesn't fall off. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So
Okay.
we have it.
I think it walked because it didn't fall.
It's not there, it's not.
It's not, well, I
Yeah.
drove past, I'm like, was that missing the R on Remembrance?
Yes.
And that's when I texted you guys, like, I drove by kind of fast, I'm not sure. Yeah, it is.
It's actually a Mandela effect. It's been Remembrance Park this whole time.
The only question I have for you, this is where I might show my nativity, is you put this as it's awesome, like all the links and all this. Is this for Facebook or the website or both?
For the
little,
numbers,
like little graph you put at the bottom of your.
that is our Facebook audience.
Okay. Can I ask you, because I always need to go look at the previous month to see what.
You want me to leave month over
Just,
month?
yeah, if you can, just to kind of see, like, I just wonder if like certain months more people go on Facebook to look for stuff compared to other months. And every meeting, I walk in the door and I go, crap, I forgot to grab last month to look at.
I can generally tell you the trend is our slower periods, which would be a lot more along these lines, will be pretty consistent. But then tournament time, anytime a guide comes out, we've been putting out like Dominique's award bumps the numbers up. So when we got the Ellis Safety Award, that gets a lot of interaction. So anytime something like that, an announcement goes out, or anytime there's like a big special event coming up, we'll usually get because we have a lot more, videos, content like day of and everything but this is gonna generally be a lot more of your, I think, steady, slower season.
No, if you can, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, definitely. And I have to replace it anyway, so it'll be real easy to just put the two.
And thank you for all your work. The website looks awesome.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jeff.
Website does look awesome. I was really sweating the early part of December because we were spending a lot of money. In December, we spent over $500,000 in bond payments alone. And even though we did arrange for a loan, I never imagined that I would be concerned about paying our bills and things. So on the 9th of December, I sent an email to Maria Pappas, who's the county treasurer, asking her to distribute funds because I know people had paid their taxes and the county has not distributed any money at that point, had not distributed any money to us. In addition to that, I have a contact at the county's office, the Cook County Treasurer's office, who I also reached out to and asked if he knew anything about what was going on. He told me that they were planning on doing a distribution, but that their systems were still not working correctly. And so that was, he was wrong. I didn't get the distributions on the date that he predicted, but that's okay. He used words like I think, whatever. As we were heading into the last week of December, which was the 29th, we were going to run payroll that day.
week before, we had run bills, and we had been holding some bills off because money was tight. And I knew if we ran this payroll and we did not get any receipts from the county, we would be having to do something to get some finances. Fortunately, on December 29th and December 30th, the county did 2 distributions to us for a total of over $500,000, which was a huge relief to me. They also sent emails saying that these were just distributions. They were not sent through the new system at all, so the county still has not sent us any money from their new tax distribution system. But I was relieved to get those funds, so we were able to make payroll, and we had another bill run coming up the next week anyway. So, but I was also able to move some of the $500,000 into our liquid asset fund, which is what I call our investment funds, which really gets us good returns if we have money in there. But when we sent that email, when they sent the email out saying that they were going to do the distribution, I replied and asked them to give us some sort of schedule, if they could, of when these distributions will come out. Well, on the 14th of January, the Cook County Treasurer did issue an email. Not everybody got it. I know I got it because I think I was making noise, saying that they were going to give us another distribution. So this week we did get another $200,000 distribution, which was nice. And also, she included a schedule for the next 3 weeks where money will come out, and they're going to be doing it in the new system, according to this email. And she said in the email that as long as the new software works well and doesn't misbehave, her exact words, as long as the software doesn't misbehave, we'll be doing these distributions. And she gave us basically almost every day for the next 3 weeks, starting next Tuesday the 20th, they're going to be distributing funds from there. And they even put how much they're anticipating distributing across all the agencies. So we're just one of many, of course. So, so this month, I was able to give you guys a little report about the distributions that came in December, which is I have not given you one of those since this entire fiscal year. It's the first month I was able to do that. And I was very relieved when I came in on that Monday morning, and there was money on the 29th, because that was a huge relief to me. So we seem to be getting money from the county now. It'll be interesting to me to see when the next tax bills are due for our residents, because they should be coming up ready to do, and they're still collecting for the ones that were issued in November. So I'm just wondering if we're going to see continual delays in the collection, issuing of the bills and collections. So, but we are okay right now. We do have to pay that loan, that temporary stopgap loan we got. We do have to pay it back on March 1st. So I do anticipate we'll have the funds for that. But it will, we do have the option to extend that if necessary, but I don't want to pay the interest. So, so that was all good news for me, and I'm happy. So we're doing a lot better financially because those funds came through. So, any questions or anything? Beautiful. That was good news for me.
All
Madam Director.
right, so I'm gonna just touch a little bit more on the pool repairs. We did get now, so we can go to the bids that we just did. We did budget $586,000 to do repairs on our aging infrastructure. Our painting and our sand filters did come in a bit higher than anticipated, but we went back to the budget and just to see how that worked. We also did our reference checks, and we did the pool painting. We got 3 bids that were pretty close to one another, so we felt those were fair. We did some reference checks with, I believe one of them was Arlington Heights Park District. There was a couple of different reference checks, so that was good. The sand filter, which now that we're repairing the pool, we're not putting brand new water in every day, so those are gonna really work a little bit harder this year. They also came in much higher than we anticipated, but this is a unique project, replacing the sand. And so we only received 1 bid, And so I did reach out to another park district who did the exact same project and asked how the contractor did, but also, I'm like, can you just be honest with me, how much did you pay so I can make sure that we're in the ballpark? And they actually paid a lot more than we did. So it could be because they're North Shore, but either way, we have a great price for that. So right now, for this fiscal year, we're gonna spend a total of $334,000 on our repairs. So that's $250,000 less than what we budgeted for. So that's good to know. That's why we're confident in these two bids. We'll talk about the OSLID grant and everything later. We're still waiting on Remembrance Park reimbursement from the grant. And know that we paid for everything up front with these grants and then wait to get reimbursed. And know that our budget is less than $6 million. So when a project costs $1 million, that's 1/6 of our entire operating budget. So we would like our reimbursement back. And then Andrew touched on HR, and then we'll be attending the conference, and then we can talk more about the camera system when we get to that.
Just to add to that, the company that we are going to bid for with the sand filters is also the company that found it.
Yes.
So,
Good.
yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
Jeff, I wonder if we could talk a little bit about what you and I covered a little bit earlier, just to.
Do we want to talk about that, or when we talk about the renovations? Or
We can do it however.
It's up to you, yeah.
Okay, let's wait to the order that you see most appropriate. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, we'll do, when we talk about the park. Yep, that sounds good, thank you, Doug.
Ms. Bergen, special rec?
Nothing new to report. I mean, we just had a meeting and,
They do have an athlete going, not an athlete, but an artist going to Paris.
I saw that.
Did you see that? Isn't that cool? I told you about that, Lacassio.
oh, yeah, yes. Kelly,
For the Paralympics, they had a bid where they could do their art, so she submitted her art, so her whole family's they're going over there to display her art during the Paralympics.
Awesome.
It was really cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Unfinished business.
All right.
I'm sorry.
You're skipping.
Park Foundation, so we have one community member who is officially part of the Park Foundation. We've put out requests, some people have taken applications. I double checked my emails to make sure I didn't miss any. I didn't see that anybody had submitted applications, so I'm still putting this out there to the community. The Park Foundation is the 501c3 arm. We're looking for people. It's not a big commitment to be part of it. Today would have been one of our 4 meetings of the year before this meeting, and with nobody to vote on or bring into it, to have a meeting. One thing that Jackie and I have talked about is, with it being part of the foundation, we don't want to make it look like the park district is like a cemetery. We don't want to have, things all over. But one of the things when we're at conferences, I'll be looking at is if people do want to, for somebody who has passed away, or maybe for a family, get a bench or get a tree, things like that. That would be some of the things of the foundation. And then there's a couple ideas we're looking at. I've asked community members, what do you kind of want to see? Like, the park district does so much. What are like little things that you're like, that would be kind of cool? One thing that we were talking about, it would be a foundation thing, it would be a park thing, but through the foundation, is having some kind of combo night in the spring, which would be, or early summer. The adults can go do an activity, whether it be here, whether it be a cooking class or wine tasting or something of that nature, and then make sure at the same time we have the ability to do the movies over at the building right outside the rooms for the little kids. So like parents could go drop off the kids in 2 hours, and we have those dates already planned in the calendar. We have the movie nights at the, Danette, I know you have those, like all the ones that, with the Friday nights, the after hour movie nights for little kids. So the foundation's looking to do that, because that's what I heard from parents that have little ones. It'd be nice to be close, you're right here, but drop the kids off, let them go see a movie, and me and partner can go do something. So that's what we're looking for. And then probably this summer, we're looking to do flick and float for the adults. So Jaws, Anaconda, something like that. Something that little kids shouldn't be watching. So,
Sorry, I can't, Jaws.
Jaws. So those are some of the things, but I just, again, reach out if any of you guys, please let me know if you're interested, and that's some of the things that we're looking to do later, and our next meeting will be officially April, but if we get people who get interested, our bylaws let us have special meetings before these meetings, and we could have one before then, so.
Is it possible that maybe somebody in the audience might be interested but not really sure if they want to commit? Can they just come to a meeting and try it?
I would love that, yeah. And if,
There's a pitch for you guys, just maybe, I've been on the liaison side, it's really cool, and Kristen's right, I think the hours, the meetings at most for like an hour, but it is the fundraising arm, so if you're interested, we won't hold you to it, just come and see if you like it, and maybe it is your thing, so.
I appreciate that. I've seen it like somewhere living on the website for like several years, and I've always been like, what is that?
Yeah.
And then I was like, anyway, let me go sign up my kid for whatever activity.
And that's the thing, is like, we want to start with little things like this, that give the, with the adults in the foundation, and then eventually, because, as we said, we have a $6 million budget, if, even bigger plans and bigger things down the road, we want to be able to contribute to that. And then also the foundation is the arm of the Park District, that if a family here in town has some financial difficulties, be able to do certain programs. That's the arm that, gives those scholarships. I don't want to call it scholarship, but it gives assistance. So the foundation is what assists in those areas too. So I figure if we could do a couple small things this summer, what I'm hoping is we get some people excited, and then plan for summer, which is so crazy to think, summer 2027, to have something even bigger and just kind of build on it. But my big thing is we've do so much for the teens, for the little kids, with the foundation. Let's see if we get like more adults, and then have, I think is a great thing, a lot of people say, babysitters are hard to come by, hard to get. Things that where the park could watch a kid for a couple hours and the adults then could go have some fun. So if you guys have any ideas, let me know too, so.
Would you happen to have, I folded the application and I don't really know where it went, and cleaning for the holidays. Do you happen to have an application, or would it be best to just print one offline?
There's one on the website.
Okay.
And then Amanda, I don't know if I have your phone number for you. Let me just get it. And
Okay.
then you
She
can
signed
have
up
mine.
for public comments.
Oh, yeah, so I did that.
Yeah, I remember you handing them out, but I was just curious if you had a little stack, but I can email you.
You all set?
I'm Dr. Coker. Main Park renovation. So it's exciting. Congratulations to the board for the grant.
That's you and all your hard work, thank you.
Pretty amazing. Thank you for your support on that, because like we said before, our budget is not very big, and so we have to be creative on how we pay for things like these renovations and these revitalizations of our facilities. So I did speak, and I had spoken to our architect after our last board meeting. We began, he had already started working on, because we had already said from the very beginning that we would always do the soccer field, even if we didn't get the grant. I'm sorry, the multi-purpose field, it is not a soccer field, it's a multi-purpose field. And so we did already begin the process with that with our architects. They've already started on preparing and putting together and having a surveyor come out to do the topographic survey, which is the first step in any project that you do with that. There's a few steps that's going to be involved in this project. We are in the process of just creating a critical path to start. We will be, I'm trying to think, as long as I know we're kind of working on the timeline for getting a design meeting for the community to come out, and we can hear those. We did put out the suggestions, and as everyone can see, everything that's on there that can fit in the space is being, is part of what the original design said to the grant was included. Any suggestions that people had? I'm just trying to think. So that's kind of the timeline of the main park. So I believe we were gonna try and do it before or after the next board meeting. Hitchcock, our architects, will be here. You can hear from them. They're the experts to kind of understand the design process. I'm not an expert on all those fine details. When you switch around certain things, it changes the whole specs for everything. The timeline is a little, they're going to kind of give us an idea, but just a brief overview. Usually the design phase takes about 3 months because we want to make sure we hear everybody. It's also, then we have about 2 months of preparing the construction bid documents. We can't apply for the MWRD permit until 95% of the plans are complete. That will take time to get back. We can demo, but we can't start the project until we receive that permit. So again,
That's the water part, right?
yeah, the metropolitan, yes. And if we even change the grade 1%, we have to have them, we gotta get a permit from them. They are gonna be, it is challenging, we know that, we've experienced that. But then a couple months to go out to bid, award the bid, and then even once that bid is awarded to a contractor, then we have to get on their schedule and their subcontractor schedule. So it is time consuming, we know that. That's kind of what we've experienced through all the other beautiful parks that we've created so far. And we've done all of that with all of these different parks, and we look forward to doing that for the next one. I know the other thing, Betty and I talked before this meeting about the concerns with the safety of the soccer field. And I know Mike and I actually had a really, I felt, great conversation about the safety, and kind of got dug in the weeds a little bit about accidents that have happened and kind of get a little bit more information. The big thing, you know, we do the GMAX testing on all of our services before they're opened, which is the standard. It's part of the construction documents. When we go out to bid with our construction documents, that is always a piece that's included in there. They do the GMAX testing before the facility is open. I have reached out to them several times that did our Remembrance Park surface, waiting to hear back from them. I don't know if they just don't work this time of year. I also reached out to Perderma, who is our liability property management pool for park districts. They serve 179 park districts. I reached out to their risk management consultant, expressing the concerns of the community. In his experience, they don't do this on fields that are opened already. He hasn't heard of this. He said he does recommend doing twice a year maintenance on the facility, which we do each year. He said, obviously as a risk management consultant, his first question is, is there a consistent pattern of injuries? And I asked Mike, and he said, really, if it's just nothing to do with the buoyancy, which is the GMAX test, there haven't been any accidents. And obviously, the black things that we see on the ground, they're going to be there with the new surface or not. That is what creates the buoyancy. We also talked about, the conditions of the field. I expressed to him how Merle from Safety Turf Specialty, not sure the name of the company off the top of my head, and his inspection that he conducted, which he said is a norm that is done, and that we did complete all the recommended improvements. He said that is something typical. He did recommend talking to the head of the youth soccer organization, which we did have a nice conversation, I felt. And he kind of let me know, you let me know your concerns. Then, as our risk management consultant said, do you have a plan to address the field? And I said, yes, we're renovating. And he said, well, that's you're addressing it. So that is what we're going to be doing moving forward. We are satisfied. Our risk management consultant And our liability insurance is satisfied with the tests that we have completed with the experts. And so I'm hoping, we definitely, if anybody knows any of our staff here, safety is number one, and it never has not been number one here. You see it in the transitions and what we've done at the pool, and in any facility here, everybody knows that is their first question. We, I'm confident in the people that protect us and our insurance. They're kind of the gospel a lot of times. So, yeah, and that's.
I think it's important as well, for not only all of us to understand, but certainly the community. If at any point next spring, you guys start playing soccer, and Andrew looks at the field, or he has somebody up to look at the field and goes, it's looking rough. Stroke of a pen, the field is closed. And that is not our first option, of course, because we don't want to do that to youth soccer. But certainly, if Mike, you come to anybody here, it'd be Jackie or Andrew would say, man, I just don't feel comfortable with this anymore. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really that simple.
And
I know it's not that simple for you, because, you've got several hundred kids who want to play soccer, but.
And I encourage, call us. I mean, there's a lot of information that's being said that is a narrative that's being created that's not true. And that's where it gets really frustrating. So give me a call. I mean, we've got 3 or 4
I have
times.
called.
So,
Yeah.
like in
And I've answered every time. I've met with you every single time.
in the spirit, I think, of trying to actually get to the resolution, because I do appreciate, Tim, what you've just said, and Andrew, I know you would act in the interest of safety. I think what the community is trying to do is get ahead of that potential that the field is not playable.
Yes.
I mean, I think I can only speak for myself. I know I am thrilled and delighted about the grant. And that we will address a lot of, the turf conditions for a multi-sport field at that time. The question is not what's going to be built. The question is what is going to happen in the spring and fall.
Right.
And should, God forbid, something, happen on the field, or just the conditions aren't bad, the 2 consequences could be somebody could get seriously hurt, or even minorly hurt, but also we could find ourselves in a situation where the program is suspended for the season. And I think nobody wants that. What I think could potentially be a way forward is we get, as Jackie has now alluded to, there's a couple of you, Mike, Mrs. Dahlman, we get together with Jackie and have a more conversation about what needs to happen next, because it's that immediacy that matters. And I'd be happy to be a part of that conversation, just so that we can all because as I mentioned to Jackie earlier this evening, reasonable people can have reasonable conversations.
Absolutely.
And we all have to be speaking from the same page. I may have misconceptions. I may not understand some of what Jack is saying or what some of y'all, but it doesn't make me the bearer of truth either. I just think we need to come together and make sure that we are all kind of like understanding what the issue is, because again, I don't think there's anybody here, I mean, good God, my man, you work hard. and I would say that for every staff member here, you're gonna take care of community first. Nobody wants to jeopardize safety. But we also need to reconcile the fact that community is saying there's a safety issue. And we're hearing now that professionals are saying that we have covered everything. How do both ends meet? And it may well be, friends, that we're not gonna find that reconciliation, but at least we try.
But the ultimate goal is we are replacing the field. And like I picked up the phone, Mike, and called you right away and said, you guys believe this is a safety concern. So we had that conversation.
And I think also, because Mike, ultimately, and forgive me if I'm speaking out of turn, you will want to put out a communication to the families.
Yes.
And we need to come to terms as to what what information can the park district provide for you to be able to communicate back to families. If you, and those of you who care so deeply and passionately about this, come back and say, we're sorry, we just don't believe that this is a safe playing situation. then we need to be able to communicate with the fact that here's the information that the Park District provided, and here's how you are arriving at that. I don't disregard the need for GMAX testing. And, we know that thankfully you have done some due diligence, but what I can also say is Jackie has spent 2 weeks looking at this issue as well, so it's not like it's been forgotten in the space of. That being said, we still haven't addressed your concerns, and it needs to be addressed. So I put myself out to Jackie and to you guys, we can organize a gathering in like the next day or two, what have you. Let's at least align on our common understanding and then together just find a way forward. That's a fair way to look at it. Jackie?
I agree, because we hear a lot of things that are narratives being created, and it's just not true. And that's the frustrating part about it. So I think that sitting down around the table like Hannah and I have done several times, I think we can have reasonable conversations.
I would love
We can
that.
have the facts.
Let's do it.
Let's do it again.
Let's commit on putting a date before you all leave and we go into closed session.
We
Can
can't
I
do
ask-
that, no, we can't do that, but. we
Or I will commit to reaching out to you and then to you.
So I just want, what year was that multi-purpose field put in?
2015, it was open September of 2015. So it's completed 10 seasons. The longevity is typically, the minimum is 10. The maximum, I think, is like 12, 13.
And the one before that was opened in 10 years before that. So
Yeah,
I'm
2005.
And I just want to make sure, so even the new field will have the same thing, like the concern of the little black pellets,
Now, that is the, like, if you look at this report, that's the buoyancy.
the points.
Yes, so if you look at an NFL game, you see them go
You see
strong
them.
whenever the players play across the field.
So my thing is, and I've done research and kind of looking on this too. I have not found anything where those little, I don't know if there's probably a technical name, those black pellets,
They're just little rubber, yeah.
none of those have been
Tires.
recalled, there hasn't been any kind of like issue or saying, oh, ones that were from, 2014 are bad, so none of that's happening. And like, I kind of, like with this whole scenario, I kind of look at it as like getting a new car. And the new car comes off the assembly line. At the assembly plant, they do the GMAX impact test to make sure this car is good and it can go on the road. And then the car's on the road and you're driving it and you get hit by the shopping carts and your kid puts a dash in it and all this stuff kind of happens. And then all of a sudden the car's not looking great, it makes some noises because it's a car and it's getting used. Then maybe you have where at one point, the lines and you're talking about stuff, you have to go and replace the side door on the car. Well, your car is blue and the only color they have is orange. So now you're driving around with a car, still works, it's fine, it's safe, your mechanic says you could drive your kids in it, but it's got an orange door, it doesn't look great, but it still works. And that's where I kind of see this, is that we've looked at all the different people, mechanics have looked at it, our experts, everyone's like, it's good, everyone's like, but it's making noise and my kid's in it, and they're like, they're licking the interior, are you sure this is safe? No, from everyone look at it, it's a safe car to drive, and guess what? We're gonna get a new car with this grant, and when we get the new car, they'll come out and do that GMAX impact survey. But as of right now, the car's good. Maybe not looks good, it's got an orange door, it's got dings, but the car's still good. And our thing is, if we find out at all that car's not safe, we'll close the car.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're
doing
trying to
safety.
say, is community is trying to get ahead of that, not to close it down at the last possible moment, thereby ruining the season for a lot of young players that are,
We'll be a test done in the spring. We're gonna be doing another, same thing that we did in the fall, where we go through and they go out, basically the gentleman is on his hands and knees testing every inch of the field. He fixes all the lines, any repairs. Last time he did 50 different repairs out there. He will do that again in the spring.
Does that include the scoreboard and the bleachers?
The scoreboard.
The scoreboard's not
Fully
yet.
operational.
Yes, no, I'm thinking of something else, sorry.
So GMAX tests,
This is.
do happen
Yeah,
days
maybe
on
on
you,
you.
that's what that's.
We can have this conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but since you're saying that, I just wanted to spell that that's actually not.
Yeah.
I just want to say I love the idea, because I have like a little baby get open heart surgery. I haven't slept in 3 years. I'm very nervous about anything happening to my kids, and I love the idea of like the reassurance, like just getting me through the spring season so that I know that nothing can happen to my kids. So maybe someday I'll sleep again, but I love the idea of getting together and just continuing to keep me informed. I like it, I love that idea.
I think it's more not and educated. I think that's what we need.
Yeah, but I need to know.
It is a
Next,
Okay, so the OSLED grant, we got it, excited, we're gonna have, and I'll just ask the board, before or after the meeting, would you like to have the meeting? Our next board meeting, I'm sorry, the design meeting, community design.
For me, it's before.
I think that's kind of early with people who are really gonna use it with kids at 5 o'clock, because I think.
Saturday, it's too
Well,
late.
yeah, I mean, it's for kids.
Well, I mean, it's,
Okay, so what do you do?
Community,
I gotta get my kid to
Yeah.
bed, so.
but you look at the community, I mean, if, I think after, but I think that board meeting that we have to have, we just have to really, we can't do this, we really, like we talk about, we have to,
Well, it's gonna
we've gotta be.
And
And
at
that's
that
what we
meeting,
talked
it's-
about before, because I think I've heard feedback that 5 o'clock is too early for a lot of working folks. And we have a board meeting, maybe it can just be tight of the agenda, like we said, Jackie, and
We could put it as part of the agenda too, and maybe start the meeting,
yeah,
we
that's
can,
what
that's
I thought.
another
Do
possibility.
it at 6 and push the board meeting back till 7. So
Yeah.
people know.
Yeah.
That works, that's a good idea. And then that meeting will be led by Hitchcock, our design, our architects. So they will be able to tell you how things work and how things fit and where we come up with the things that we're telling you. Okay. Pool repairs. We have already kind of went through everything, so, with that, so unless there's any
Okay.
questions.
I need a motion from the board that we accept the proposal from Stuckey Construction Group from Waukegan, Illinois, in the amount of $155,900 for the sand filter replacement of sand in Panic sand filters and laterals. Project is recommended by staff. Motion.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll.
Allison Moore. Aye. Lyons. Aye. McDermott. Aye. Sansoni.
Aye.
Gilligan.
Aye. Need a motion from the board that we accept the proposal from A+ Pictures from Bartlett, Illinois, in the amount of $79,890 for the main pool parking and pool project, pool repair project, as recommended by staff. Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll.
Allison Moore. Aye. Lyons. Aye. McDermott. Aye. Sansoni.
Aye.
Gilligan.
H&R building transition.
We're just doing remediation. There's mold in some of the walls, and so we're kind of just working on that right now.
The Illinois Association of Park Districts Annual Conference.
I just need to know any details that anybody needs, rides, et cetera, hotels, and I can get all that taken care of.
Okay. Any other matters for discussion? Okay, moving on to new business, indoor cameras.
This is something that we've actually had information on since September. We currently, our indoor camera system is kind of something that got put in there. It's outdated. It's very challenging to access right now. And so we want to update that system with the same system that we have throughout the entire park. And then there's also in the pool entrance, we do not have a camera on the entrance, we only have it behind. So it's recommended that we add a camera there, and then an additional camera by concessions by the gate. Again, this is, when the Roos's camera system was not getting us what we needed, and we were having challenges accessing it, it kind of drove this, the whole thought process behind it. We've had a lot of success with our outdoor camera system all around the park, easily to access. And we don't have any monthly costs. They install it, it's in the cloud, and we're good to go. So this would be the same company that did the outdoor camera system throughout the park.
So I need a motion from the board that we accept the proposal from Griffin Systems for Evan, something like that, surveillance system for indoor cameras and aquatic center main entrance concessions in the amount of $73.35. as recommended by staff.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion?
You said this is all saved in the cloud then?
This all goes in the cloud. Our outdoor system also currently goes into the cloud. We don't pay monthly.
I was gonna say, you don't pay much.
I think right now it stores 60 days, or we're gonna have it make sure it stores 60 or 90.
Right now, it depends on the activity.
Yeah,
It's very dependent on activity, but we are, part of the proposal is making the storage larger so that we have a longer time frame for which we're safe data, so.
Okay, call the roll.
Alsamora.
Aye.
Lyons.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Sansoni.
Aye.
Billy.
I need another motion that the board accept the proposal from Griffin Systems for a surveillance system for the indoor camera system update at the Roos in the amount of $11,817, as recommended by staff.
Motion.
Second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll.
Alsamora. Aye. Lyons. Aye. McDermott.
Aye.
Sansoni.
Aye.
Billy.
Aye. Any other matters for discussion?
That's it. And close should just be quick, so.
Okay, folks, we're going to go into closed session now. So essentially, this meeting is over. We will come back out of closed session.
Well, they can't do it.
They can't, we're not gonna